Hi guys, it's Erin from Ginger Florals. Today, in between the rainstorms, there could be some thunder later today, so we'll see how far we get. My intent is to get a whole bunch of our biennials planted. Let's take a look right here. They look pretty sad. They've been in these pots too long, just sitting in the weather. But these are this whole bunch and those down there. Those are all Sweet Rocket. They're one of my absolute favorite spring blooms. They're in the Brassica family. They grow 3 or 4 feet tall, and they have these beautiful whites and purple blooms that smell amazing. Uh, they're definitely one of the best. I started these seeds with these plants. Oh geez, I think it might have been June, and they're certainly ready and wanting to get into the ground. This other one here, these are Honesty. Uh, Linaria, I actually grow these for the seed pods. They're just the most beautiful silvery shaped or silvery colored, interestingly shaped seed pods that I use in dried arrangements and winter arrangements. They're just gorgeous. So I need to get these in the ground. I also have several trays on the hill or on the deck of campanula, but I need to clear out another bed in order to get those in, and I haven't quite had a chance to do that yet. So right now, the weather, this time of year is kind of tough. The weather has been off and on torrential downpours and pretty windy. So if the audio is sketchy, I apologize ahead of time. Uh, everything is wet out here. It's just a need to get these in the ground. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trays. So around 70 of these. I plan to put them here in this bed that we prepped the other day. All these little seedlings that you see popping up, those are amaranth seeds and cosmos seeds. They won't survive the winter. They're just there. I haven't seen any. Well, I've seen a few sprouts. Can you see this little guy? There's a few sprouts from the bupleurum and the larkspur that we seeded in here. So cross your fingers that they survive. Most of what's there though is just remnants from the annuals that were there. You see my cheeks are all pink because it's kind of chilly out here. I need to get moving. Okay, so I plan to use my auger this time. I'm just going to go down the row and I'm going to plant these all roughly 12 inches apart. So I'll dig 3, and I'm going to offset them. So I'll dig holes 3 in one spot and then 2 next. You'll see as I go, and hopefully we have enough room for all of these. And if the weather holds out, we'll see. May or may not be able to get some more bed cleared out so that over the next week John can get the compost in here so we can plant the rest of them. I've also still got the hardy annuals. I've got the tulips coming. I have some fun projects I want to do with the hyacinths and the other bulbs that we got in last week. So there's a lot to do, a lot to come. So I'm just going to set up a camera, aug all these holes, and then get these little plants in the ground. They really need it. So we managed to fit all of the sweet rocket and the lunaria. So I'm gonna go get a couple of trays of the campanula to finish filling out this row. We might be able to get almost four more trays. That's awesome. All right, we got that done, and it's starting to rain on me, so we'll make this part quick. So we wound up getting all of the sweet rocket in. There's white, pale lavender, and violet colors. We have these are the lunaria, and those are just a few. Like I said, I saved those for the seed pods, although they are sweet little flowers in the spring. And then the rest of these are blue and pink campanula. So I didn't realize that I still had my campanula in 2-inch pots. So we were only able to get one and probably a third trays in here. So I still have 6 trays to go, which is good. So this row is next. I gotta dig all those out, dig everything out, put some compost down, and then do the exact same thing I just did. I'm really excited about this. The weather is supposed to be rainy, showery, stormy, but not super cold yet. We don't have a frost in our 10-day forecast yet, but you never know, that can change. So those guys they should be good. They should have a chance to root in at least a little bit in between rainstorms, which I really am super excited about this. Even though they look pretty sad, they were in pretty bad shape when I finally got around to doing this, but as long as they get a chance to root in over the next couple weeks before any kind of frost comes. And if you didn't see that video when I planted the hardy annuals, I did top dress this whole bed, both of these beds, with compost. That's the only amendments I'm putting in right now. I don't really want a whole lot of foliar growth to happen right now, so I'm just using the compost. They should be able to root in quite nicely and then be good, strong, robust plants to bloom again next spring. That's the goal. Even though they're kind of sad looking now, they still look better than the attempt I made last year. So yeah, like I said, this row needs to get cleared out. very quickly so I can do the same thing with the rest of my campanula. And I think that's it for my hardy annuals. Yeah, it should be. Or sorry, my biennials. Now, if you don't remember, biennials, their biennial means it's a 2-season plant. So the first year, they generally put up a tuft of greenery. A plant is, a seed falls, it drops, it germinates, and it creates this little tuft of greenery and builds a good root system throughout that season. And then it's not until the next season that it will shoot up a bloom stalk. Some of the other biennials, aside from the Sweet Rocket, the Campanula, there's Sweet William, which a lot of times is actually perennial here. And Foxglove is another one that is really, really beautiful. We have Foxglove that just grows wild around here, so we'll have some, though not a whole lot, in the field. But ultimately, these guys will bloom in that gap between all of the bulbs, if all goes well. You can never guarantee, but if it goes well, as I hope it does, these should be blooming in between the gap between the bulbs finishing and then our perennials and warm season annuals to start blooming. They are kind of that filler in between. So that's pretty exciting. I'm glad to have gotten these in the ground. Don't you love it? It's sunshine and rain. And like I said, this row back here, I'm going to leave it for the moment, but obviously everything needs to come out. But that row is going to be, I think, where I'm going to put that second succession of ranunculus in the spring. If you saw the videos recently, we planted that whole chicken coop garden up with ranunculus and anemone, and then I still have half of that much again, so I think this row is where it's going to go. And oh, I did want to show you real quick. They're so cool. They're actually blooming finally, even though I've fully neglected the plants. Look at the mums. Oh, how beautiful is that? And there's another one down there. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to have a real good chance of doing any actual, like, big time blooming. Look at that. And obviously, I didn't stake them up, so very few of them look very good right now, the plant-wise. And the flowers are going to get beat up. But that's okay. I'm going to end up coming out here, digging these up, potting them up, getting them in the greenhouse so that they can overwinter in there, and do like we did with the geraniums and take a bunch of cuttings over the winter and then treat them better than I have the last couple of years. Okay guys, as the weather starts to shift, the rain is coming a little bit more steady now. I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're inspired to get outside in between rain and windstorms and get your hands in the dirt. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.